Good morning, Dr. Chimin.
Good morning. How are you all this wonderful morning?
It's a rainy day.
I love that way last night. I do.
good morning. Maybe we can start now. Thank you.
Pleasant morning to everyone. On behalf of Quirino State University and the International Relations Office, welcome to a unique and enriching gathering, QSU Vox Talk 2025, Bridging Cultures Through Food as Medicine, a TED Talk-inspired convocation. Today, we're not just here to listen. We are here to be moved, inspired, and enlightened by diverse voices from across the globe, sharing how food transcends borders and becomes a powerful medium for healing, heritage, and unity. This is not your typical academic symposium. This is Vox Talk, where real stories, scientific insight, and cultural wisdom intersect on one stage. So prepare your minds and hearts as we bridge cultures, promote wellness, and celebrate food as medicine. Let us begin our program by invoking the guidance and presence of our Almighty Father and God, followed by the singing of the national anthems of the Philippines, Malaysia, and the United States of America, then by the singing of the Quirino State University hymn thereafter.
The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. And give you peace. The Lord makes his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. And be gracious, the Lord be gracious, gracious unto you. Amen. Amen. Bayang magiliw, pelas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyen ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisid. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bukaw, may gilagang tula at awit sa pagnayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawag mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw niyang kailan pa may magpiniling. Lupa ng araw na luwalhati pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang ligaya na pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. which the breeze or the towering steep, as it fitfully blows, half conceals, half discloses. Now it catches the gleam of the morning's first beam, in full glory reflected, now shines on the stream. 'Tis the star-spangled banner, oh, long may it wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
To formally open this groundbreaking event, we are honored to hear from a visionary leader who continues to elevate academic excellence and global partnerships at Quirino State University. Let us welcome the Vice President for Academics, Research and Extension, Dr. Elizabeth E. Cari. Good morning, Doc.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, Nobi. Good morning to everyone. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome all of you today. Today's activity, Vox Talk, Bridging Cultures Through Food as Medicine. This is a TED Talk inspired convocation that brings together voices from around the world to explore the powerful intersection of culture, cuisine, and healing. We are truly privileged to host this meaningful gathering here at Quirino State University, where ideas meet impact and learning crosses borders. So today's event is made even more special with the presence of our esteemed Dr. Ximena Castro, a Fulbright specialist and a passionate advocate of integrative health, who is currently working with us at Quirino State University. So Dr. Castor, we are honored to have you among us and deeply grateful for the wisdom, energy, and global perspective you bring to the QSU community. So this convocation is an opportunity to celebrate diversity, reflect on traditional practices, and reimagine how food can be bridged between cultures, between science and tradition, nourishment and healing, and knowledge and practice. So as we listen to our speaker today, each one bringing stories and insights from their unique cultural and professional journeys, may we be inspired to see food in new and transformative ways. Let this be time of connection, learning, and appreciation of the rich tapestry that binds us through the universal language of food. Thank you all for being here. With that, let us officially begin this enriching experience. Maraming salamat at magandang umaga sa ating lahat.
Yeah, thank you very much, and welcome to all. And for at this juncture, let us listen to a special message from the Steward of Transformation, Innovation, and Internationalization at Quirino State University. Let's give a warm virtual and in-person round of applause to our University President, Dr. Hermenegildo F. Samoy Jr.
Thank you, Novi. Narinig ba ako? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Mabuhay. Naimbag na bigat. That's our local dialect. It says, good morning. And I'm honored to see you virtually. Dr. Ximena Castor, I've not seen you for the past few days. I'll be visiting you later today. Our friends from Malaysia, USA, and of course from the Philippines, all of you, once again, good morning. We gather not just to celebrate the diversity of our cultures, but to explore something far more intimate, how food, the most universal of human experience, can heal and nourish not only our bodies, but our souls, our histories, our relationships, and our futures. It is a powerful reminder that what we eat is never just about nutrition. It's about our culture, it's about our memory, our healing, our identity. And in a world so often divided by differences or by difference, food remains one of the few things that still bring us back together. As my joke, I always say this, together we stand, provided we eat. Food can bring us back together around a table, over a shared meal, across continents, and across generations. Food is a memory. It's a scent of garlic sizzling in oil, the rhythm of chopping vegetables passed down through generations, the quiet comfort of a bowl of soup when words fail. Recall the steaming bowl of soup made by your mother when you were sick, did not just soothe your throat. Or the bottle of soda or fruit juice. In the Philippines, we do that. And the piece of cracker bought from the nearby store did not just provide you quick relief. They made you feel loved. That right there is food as medicine, not just in its chemistry, but in its care, in its intention. Across continents, cultures, and centuries, food has been our medicine. In the Philippines, we have the salabat, ampalaya, luya, moringa. These are staples in our traditional knowledge systems. In India, they have the turmeric milk. In China, they have the congee. In Malaysia, they have the nasi lemak. I hope I have pronounced it well, which is a coconut-enriched rice with anchovies. Is arguably the nation's or the Malaysians' favorite food, a favorite way to start the day because of the soothing aromatics such as the pandan leaf and spicy condiments. Nasi, a rice in Malaysia, is also nasi is also used in our dialect in Kapampangan. We call rice nasi in Pampanga and Tarlac in central Luzon. So different continents, different nations, different cultures, different flavors, but the same belief that food carries with it a wisdom passed down through generations. In bridging cultures, we do not merely exchange recipes, we exchange values. We learn patience in slow cooking or slow simmer. We learn respect for the land in way ingredients are harvested. We learn community in how meals are shared. Let me add that the healing power of food is not just in its nutrients. It is in the stories it makes. Also, when we share a meal, we share our identity. We bridge cultures. We dissolve borders. So we say, this is who I am, taste it. And in doing so, we invite others to understand us, not through debate, but through flavor. I hope Dr. Shimen have enjoyed the food that we have here in the Philippines. As educators, as students, as scientists, and advocates, we are all part of this conversation. Let us document our food traditions. Let us study them. Let us protect them. Let us continue to share them. So, because when we share food, we share our stories, we share our cultures, we share our identity, we share who we are and what we do in this world. So in sharing our stories, we build empathy, and in empathy, we find the medicine the world truly needs. Let be your food, your medicine, and your medicine your food. Let culture be your cure, and let every bite be a step toward a more connected, compassionate world. Thank you, and may we all learn from this convocation, from this conversation. Let us live later this program, not just inspired, but also a little more hungry to learn, to connect, and to heal the world. Good morning and mabuhay.
Thank you very much, Doc Samoy, for your presence and your words of encouragement, especially for emphasizing that food is not just about nutrition, it's more so as part also of our culture, tradition, healing, stories, and identity. Thank you so much, Doc. Okay, and now The heart of our program begins. Our Vox Talk session will feature brilliant and passionate advocates from the Philippines, Malaysia, and the United States of America, each bringing their unique lens to the theme Food as Medicine. Let's welcome our first speaker, Dr. Taigarahan Parumasibam, is a program chair for Discipline of Pharmaceutical Technology at the School of Pharmaceutical Sciences, University Science Malaysia. He is an honorary treasurer of Young Scientists Network, Academy of Sciences Malaysia, and the current president of Malaysian Society of Pharmaceutical Technology, MSPT. His research focuses on both microbiology and drug delivery, in which places him in a unique position to design an efficacious and microbiologically sound formulation system, especially for pulmonary and brain delivery. He is also a recipient of the Global Young Scientist Summit, Singapore 2019, and the ASEAN Science Leadership Fellowship 2019, as well as Excellence Award of the Council of Pharmacy Deans 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, our first speaker, Dr. Taigarahan Parumasibam.
Okay, morning everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, doctor.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Chairperson, for the kind introductions. Again, good morning everyone. So actually my name is Taigarajan, so it's a Tiger plus Rajan, and then followed by Parumasibam, which is my surname. So actually you can call me Tiger, but don't worry, I'm not here to bite you guys, but I just want to share my topic here with you guys. Okay, again, thank you very much for the organizing committee for having me here at QSU Vox Talk. It's truly an honor to be speaking on a topic that is close to my heart, which is food, culture, and medicine. And today, I want to talk especially about Alzheimer's disease and the connection it has with what we eat and also like what we have been eating for generations. Okay, first of all, let me talk about the Alzheimer's disease. So as you guys know, Alzheimer's disease is more than just a memory loss. And Alzheimer's is a neurocognitive disorder that slowly destroys your memory and cognitive function. And it affects millions of people worldwide. So if we talk about statistics, WHO, World Health Organization, had declared that 57 million people are living with the dementia, and the disease makes up to like a 60% of people live in low and middle income countries, including Malaysia and Philippines. Actually, this is such a severe diseases. Okay, one of the severe diseases. And unfortunately, if you look at the treatment, we still don't have a cure for Alzheimer's disease. Right now, the medications we have like donepezil, another one is a rivastigmine and memantine, they don't cure the disease. Actually, they only help with the symptoms. They just slow things down. They only gives families more time, that's all. But they do not stop or reverse the damage to the brain. Okay, let me ask these simple questions. Can you think the food can protect our memories? Can it cure Alzheimer's disease? So that's something we need to ponder about, right? So, well, actually, science has started to say that, yes, food has a role in protect our brain. And indeed, many research is showing that unhealthy diets that are high in fat and sugar play a crucial role in cognitive impairment and increase the risk of Alzheimer's disease. And let me share a quick story, guys, because I know like everyone want to listen to story, right? When it comes to that kind of talk. So when I was young, I used to stay in my auntie's place, and then my auntie used to brew this very bitter herbal concoction, and then she called it a Nilavembu. So Nilavembu is actually is a Tamil word. So I'm originally it's a Tamil, but then I grown up in Malaysia, and in Malay we call it as a Hempadu Bumi. So Hempadu Bumi directly translates into a word king of bitterness. So in the recent years, I found that or discovered that the botanical name of that plant is Andrographis paniculata. And I also discovered that this tiny plant actually is very popular among traditional Southeast Asian medicine, and especially in Malaysia. And this plant actually holds an extraordinary potential for Alzheimer's disease treatment. And that's bring it to our lab research, in which we showed that the compound in this particular plant, which is called andrographolite, have anti-inflammatory and neuroprotective properties. So in our lab studies, we found that the compound has potential to reduce a kind of inflammation and oxidative stress that contributes to neurodegeneration that commonly found in Alzheimer's diseases. And thus, we learn the fact that something our elders brewed in pot without lab coat possibly hold a promise for a modern brain health. And a friendly reminder, guys, don't take it seriously. Whatever I'm presenting, never ever try at home. It's just experimental findings. And I'm also not here to sell a cure for Alzheimer's disease. And Alzheimer's disease is very complex, and I believe no food or a herb that can cure the disease, like one single food or a single herb. But what we do know is that diet plays a crucial role in the prevention of the disease. And especially in Southeast Asia, we are sitting on a gold mine of bioactive plants, right? And think about it, pandan, pegaga, turmeric, misai kucing, lemongrass, curry leaves, to name a few. And like the previous talk, pandan being commonly used in nasi lemak as well, right? So these are just not, these aren't just flavoring agents. They are full of antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds with neuroprotective potential. Now, unfortunately, one of the things we have to keep in mind that with urbanization and modernization, many of us are moving away from these traditional diets. Fast food is engulfing us faster, okay? Processing snacks are more available on supermarket shelves, flooding the cafes and supermarkets these days. And these foods often contains various unhealthy components such as excessive amount of saturated fats, trans fats, added sugars, and high level of sodium and artificial additives. Now, ultimately, overconsumption of these fast foods and processed foods may cause our neurocognitive disorders and increase the risk of Alzheimer's diseases. And thus, what is the solution for this? Okay, there is a saying in Siddha medicine. So Siddha medicine is an ancient Indian system of medicine which says that food is the medicine and medicine is the food. So this phrase emphasizes that the right kind of food can be a powerful tool for healing and maintaining a good health. So again, I repeat, a right kind of food can be a powerful tool for healing and maintaining the health. I need to look at my script as well. Therefore, our traditional food knowledge that often passed down informally through taste, smell, rituals may hold answers that modern medicine hasn't explored thoroughly. And keep in mind that when we start to scientifically validate these practices, actually we don't question them, actually we respect them. And that's why my research team is studying how to formulate phytochemicals from local herbs into more effective form, such as converting into nanoparticles and couple them with more advanced drug delivery system. And this helps, this drug can be delivered to the right place as the right amount, and also can bypass the blood-brain barrier, which is common barrier in our brain. And so instead of searching only in the high-tech drug libraries, we are looking in our local markets that already been available in our foods, like soups, curries, and sambals. Okay, so in a nutshell, I would say don't underestimate the wisdom of traditional knowledge. Ask our elders, grandmas, grandpas, uncles, aunties, mom and dad, and what they use, and then test it. And look beyond textbook. Some of the best questions and answers might come just from our kitchen, right? And those food that remembers our cultures, it might just help our brain to remember too. And to the end with my talk, so let's honor our tradition not just in festivals and costumes, clothes, but also in what we eat, to connect culture and science and ultimately protect our brain. So that's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Taijarahan. Sorry for that, Doc.
Okay, fine.
For emphasizing this time food as medicine, particularly to Alzheimer's disease, and for emphasizing the grandparent tradition that still works in mending such disease like Alzheimer's. Thank you so much, Doctor. Okay, so this time for our second speaker, we will be moving on to Dr. Siti Aini Sarah Binti Zainal Abidin. Dr. Abidin is a senior lecturer at Food Science and Technology Program, Faculty of Applied Sciences, University Technology Mara, sa Alam. In terms of education, she obtained her degree in Bachelor of Science in Biotechnology from International Islamic University of Malaysia, Kuantan campus. She completed her PhD in Halal Product Science at University Putra, Malaysia. She served as postdoctoral researcher at Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, UP Manila for 1.5 years before being offered as a lecturer at Food Science and Technology Program, Faculty of Applied Sciences, UITM, sa Alam in December 2016. Over the 7 years in UITM, she has been appointed with various roles such as FSG's Corporate Committee, Facilitator for Creative and Innovative Team. Currently, she holds administration posts as Head and Halal Laboratory and Supply Chain Malaysia Institute of Transport, UITM, to develop method on halal authentication of food in supply chain. Her interest in halal authentication method, proteomics, and halal logistics has contributed to more than 40 publications with 7 H-index in Scopus, while 9 H-index in Google Scholar, with more than 300 citations since 2019. She is the project leader for Fundamental Research Grant Scheme, FRGS 2019, and Industrial Matching Grant 2024. Currently, she is being appointed as a member of Malaysia Institute of Food Technology, MIFT, and Certified Halal Trainer under JAKIM. Ladies and gentlemen, our second speaker, Dr. Siti Aini Sara Binti Zainal Abidin.
Thank you, Nabini. Okay. Distinguished professors, doctors, ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Quirino State University, particularly the International Relations Office, for such an honored invitation. Okay, I'm excited today to talk on the Malaysia's healing plate when food becomes medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine walking into a clinic and receiving a bottle of pills. Not a bottle of pills, but a recipe, a broth, or even a spice blend. What if healing began not with medicines, but with a meal? Our kitchens in Malaysia are more than places of nourishment. They are archives of ancestral wisdoms. They whisper traditions where sambal or bagoong, am I pronounce it correctly? Bagoong doubles as remedy. If my grandmother's kitchen could speak, it would sound less like a restaurant, but more like a clinic with turmeric roots, ginger stalk, and even wild green we call ulam, or in other words, salad. Today, I would like to invite you to discover the healing power of Malaysia's culinary heritage through the lens of science and culture and even halal ethics. Okay, my first point is food is the brain and mood boosters. I like to emphasize that mental clarity didn't come from a pill, but from a plate of salad. Here in Malaysia, we have Pegaga, or the scientific name is Centella acetica. It contains triterpenoids that can boost memory and calm the nerves. So it always been prepared as a juice, like small shot. And then tempeh. I think you know this. You heard about tempeh. It contains isoflavones, eglycans, peptides, free amino acids, and even gamma aminobutyric acids, or GABA. A fermented soybean that nourishes the gut, brain axis, and even it can uplift the mood. But I know the taste might be unpleasant, but then it has a lot of benefits to the brain. And then next is ulam raja, or Cosmos caudatus. It contains quercetin. One of the compound is quercetin. It has been highlighted for its potential to improve cognitive functions and mood. So these are some examples of ingredients of food that can uplift the mood. So these aren't just greens; they are guardians of mental wellness woven into our everyday meals. Secondly, food is an immunity and anti-inflammatory agents. In every herbal broth or concoction lies a silent warrior fighting inflammation from within. Meaning that our immune system thrives on traditions. Like the example is Haruan fish or snakehead fish that are usually prepared in soup or BBQ, has been bakar. Okay. It has been traditionally used to treat skin ailments, pain, and fatigue. And then research suggests that it may have properties that help with wound healing and pain relief, possibly due to its amino acid and fatty acid profile. We always cook with ginger, garlic, and shallot, right? It contains allicin and allicin. Okay, but then this compound, what does it do? It fights infections and boosts cardiovascular health. This plant that you might not familiar with is the name is temulawak or even Curcuma xanthorizol. It contains xanthorizol. It detoxifies the liver and calm the body. It is commonly found in jamu drinks. Malaysian drinks jamu drinks for beauty purpose. Okay. The truth is, grandma's home cooked soup might do more for inflammation than your pharmacy shelf. Okay, thirdly, food is medicine for cardiovascular and blood health. Our ancestors didn't just count calories, they counted on their food to keep their hearts strong. For instance, in our stir-fry vegetables and juices such as peria or bitter gourd, the very bitter one, it contains carnitine, polypeptides, and glycine, whereby it regulates blood sugars and cholesterol. And if we have sardines, in terms of fish, we have sardines, mackerels, or ikan kembung, and yellow striped cat, ikan sela in Malaysia. They are high in omega-3 that is support heart health and reducing inflammations. We often rely on like salmon that had always been mentioned that contain omega-3, but it is actually in our oceans, Pacific Oceans, we already have the fish that can support the omega heart health. And then next is lean meat, especially the skinless one, not the crispy fried skin. It have lower fat content compared to other options, making them a good source of protein without the saturated fat. This food nourishes with nutrients and protect with purpose. Okay, next, not to forget women's wellness and hormonal balance. In every postnatal broth and meals, okay, lies a quiet revolution crafted for women by women with care. In Malaysia, the confinement period is a crucial period for women to really heal their inner body. Okay, our traditions elevate women's health, whereby they often being served with kacip Fatima or Labicia fumula, the resorcinol derivatives that can restore vitality and balance. And also mas chote or Ficus deltoidea. It contains several beneficial compounds like vitaxin and isobetaxins. These delicate leaves improve blood circulation and resilience. And also, if you ever heard about jantung pisang or banana blossoms, it contains phenolic acids that can regulate hormone and promotes lactation. And what I would like to highlight here is these aren't mere remedies. They are rituals of healing passed from mothers to daughters through generations. Right. We believe that food is a spiritual nutrition. In Islam, halal is the permission, soy is the promise. Okay, wholesomeness. It's not just what you can eat, it's what you should eat. Even the ingredient is so good, but not being prepared in a clean, safe, and hazard-free environment, it becomes useless. So choosing halal and soy food is not just about religion, it's a commitment to safety, purity, and respect. So what we should do next? I would like to encourage students to research traditional healing through food science and technology lenses. In UiTM, we actively use local herbs like mas chote, keremak merah, bunga telang to really understand its properties and try to use it on the ground level. And most of our product, we try to use it the local food sources. Okay. And secondly, let's challenge consumer to honor what heals on the plate before what cures in the clinic. I agree with Dr. Tiger just now. We over rely on the fast foods, but let's bring them back to the healing plates. Okay. And then we must shift our lenses from reactive medicine to proactive nourishments. And of course, prevention is better than cure. Lastly, before I end, remember, food is not just what we eat, it's how we heal, remember, and reconnect. Food as healing plate is more than a metaphor, it's a movement. Let's teach our children and students that soup is more than a meal, it's halal remedy. Let's show the world that halal and Tayyiban food is ethical, wholesome, and healing. So the next time you eat rendang, sip a hot ginger tea, crunch ulam with bagoong, remember you are not just savoring flavor. You are honoring centuries of wisdom preserves in local values. This isn't just food, it's medicines and it's ours. Thank you so much to organizer. It is really an honor to be speaking here today among the esteemed educators and scholars. Let this be more than just a sharing session, maybe a conversation, a convergence of mind, and catalyst for more future collaboration in future. Thank you.
Thank you also very much, Doctor, for giving us a taste of the Malaysian food, the cuisine, and your tradition as brain booster, what I got from your talk, Doctor, for immunity and anti-inflammatory agent, and even for keeping hormonal balance, and for emphasizing halal is not just a religion, but you make use of it really for healing. And that one that you emphasize, that heal in the plate than in clinic. Thank you so much, Doc, for all the other very good points that you've shared here. And yeah, we'll keep on, we hope to keep on having a good connection with you, Doc. Thank you po. Okay, so moving on to our fourth speaker, our very own Dr. Arlene J. Ira. She is a dedicated public health nutritionist dietitian and respected faculty member of Quirino State University, where she serves as the program chairperson of the Bachelor of Science in Nutrition and Dietetics. With years of combined academic and community experience, Dr. Ira has been a leading advocate for nutrition-centered rural development, particularly within underserved areas of Quirino Province. Her work rooted in the belief that food is more than nourishment, it is medicine. Through her leadership in numerous health promotion and extension activities, she has championed the use of local and indigenous food systems to address malnutrition, promote sustainable livelihoods, and empower communities toward better health outcomes. Dr. Ira's unwavering commitment to bridging scientific knowledge with culturally rooted practices exemplifies the food as medicine. Her advocacy continues to bring meaningful impact to both the classroom and the community. Ladies and gentlemen, our third speaker, Dr. Arlene J. Ira.
Thank you, Ma'am Nobi. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good day, everyone. Let me begin my talk with a question. What if I told you that the most powerful form of medicine isn't found in a bottle, but on your plate? That what you eat every day holds the potential to prevent disease, restore energy, ease pain, and even heal. Now, that might sound surprising, or maybe too simple to be true. But allow me to share a story that proves just how life-changing food can be. Maria was a 52-year-old mother of 3. She came into our nutrition clinic carrying a plastic bag filled with maintenance medications, diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol. She looked tired, not just physically tired, but emotionally drained. She said to me something I will never forget. I don't know what to eat anymore. I've lost the will to try. She wasn't being difficult. She was simply overwhelmed, confused by years of conflicting advice, and exhausted by a health system that treated her symptoms but never her whole story. So we started with small steps, simple, sustainable changes. We added fiber to her breakfast. We replaced sugary snacks with fruit. We made food a source of nourishment, not fear. But more importantly, we gave her hope. Months later, Maria returned. Her labs had improved, her energy had returned, and for the first time in years, she felt in control of her health. That transformation didn't begin in a pharmacy. It began in the kitchen. And that's why I'm here to talk to you about today. Not just food as fuel, but food as medicine. Not just nutrition as numbers, but nutrition as empowerment. Because whether you're a patient, a parent, a health worker, or just someone trying to feel better, this is for you. Today, we're going to explore how food has the power not just to heal our bodies, but to transform the way we live. For many people, medicine is something we take after we get sick. But as a nutritionist dietitian, I see food as our first medicine, the kind we take every day, not only when illness strikes, but as part of our daily living. Think about the question we often ask ourselves. What's for dinner? Now imagine if we ask instead, what kind of healing will I give my body today? Food is not just fuel. Food is not just calories. Food is information. It tells our body how to function, how to repair, and how to thrive. Let's talk about the science. But did you know that many Filipino dishes, especially those based on backyard-grown vegetables and fish, can offer similar health benefits? A diet in an anti-inflammatory foods such as berries, leafy greens, turmeric, and ginger has been linked to reduce pain, improve joint health, and lower risk of chronic diseases like cancer. Locally, we have powerful options too, like malunggay or moringa, luyang dilaw, turmeric, tanglad or lemongrass, saluyot or jute, and ampalaya. All easily grown in Filipino backyards and known for their potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Supporting your gut doesn't always require imported ingredients. Fermented foods like achara or pickled papaya, burong isda, tapoy, and salabat, along with fiber-rich native fruits, they play an important role in digestion, mental clarity, and immune function. Even simple dishes like munggo with malunggay or laing with gabi leaves are great for gut health and loaded with nutrients. Incorporating homegrown, culturally familiar vegetables into daily meals isn't just sustainable. It's science-based nutrition that protects your heart, gut, and overall well-being. And here's the truth. Many chronic diseases like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and obesity are lifestyle related. They don't appear overnight. They grow slowly, silently, meal by meal, snack by snack, year by year. So what if we treated food as more than just something to satisfy cravings? What if we saw it as a daily tool for healing? Here's the challenge we face. We keep saying eat healthy, but what does healthy even mean? How can people make smart food choices when they're surrounded by misinformation, fad diets, and conflicting nutrition advice? This is where we, the nutrition professionals, step in. We don't just teach people to count calories. We teach food and nutrition literacy. We help individuals understand nutrition labels, plan balanced meals, and manage health conditions using simple, evidence-based, and culturally appropriate diets. We are the translators of science, turning complex data into everyday food solutions. And we believe this knowledge should be accessible to everyone, no matter their background, income, or education. Let's step beyond the numbers on nutrition labels, beyond calories, carbohydrates, and grams of fat. Food is identity, food is power. Every dish we cook, every ingredient we choose, every tradition we preserve, it tells a story. A story of where we come from, what we value, and how we see ourselves. Every bite is a decision about how we honor our bodies, a decision about the kind of life and future we are building for ourselves and our families. When someone decides to cook a home-prepared, balanced meal instead of reaching for fast food, it's not just a healthy choice. It's an act of resistance. It's someone declaring, I matter, my health matters, I choose to care. And when a community returns to its roots, planting backyard gardens, choosing local over imported, slow over instant, it's not just smart nutrition, it's resilience and it's cultural sovereignty. In the Philippines, we choose malunggay over canned foods, kamote over processed carbs, or tinola over takeout. We're not just eating well, we're honoring our heritage, we're reclaiming our power. But here's the problem. Globally, medical schools offer less than 20 hours of nutrition education and training. Here in our country and in many parts of the world, health systems are often reactive instead of preventive. We wait for illness to worsen before we intervene. We reach for prescriptions when we could begin with prescriptive nutrition. Now imagine this. What if every community health center had a licensed nutritionist or staff? What if every medical diagnosis came with a personalized nutrition plan? Or what if food and nutrition counseling were part of every clinical consultation? That's not idealism. That's smart, effective public health. So what can you do? You don't need a degree in nutrition to eat with intention. You just need awareness. Add more color to your plate. Different colors, different nutrients. Eat food in its most natural form. The fewer the ingredients, the better. Respect also traditional meals. Home-cooked food is often more nourishing than anything fast or processed. Cook whenever you can. Even one home-cooked meal a day is a powerful act of wellness. And for fellow professionals, educators, and advocates here today, let's work together to integrate nutrition education more deeply into our schools, clinics, and communities. Because food is not just a topic. Food is a tool for transformation. Now, let me return back to Maria, my patient, and the reason I'm here today. Her story is not unusual. She represents millions of people around the world who feel lost, confused, and tired of being sick. To them, I say this. You don't have to do everything at once. You don't need fancy diets or imported health foods. You just need to start with what you have and where you are. Healing is a process, and often that process begins with a very simple question. What can I eat today that will help me heal tomorrow? Let's stop thinking of food as just fuel. Let's stop underestimating the power of home-cooked, nutrient-dense meal. Let's reclaim food as our first medicine, not just for survival, but for vibrant, empowered living. Because in every bite, we don't just feed our hunger, we shape our future. Thank you very much and good morning.
Thank you, Dr. Ardeen, for sharing your story of Maria and even emphasizing again that food is really a daily tool for healing and also for highlighting our roles as R&Ds. Okay, so we're done with our third speaker. Moving on now with our fourth, Dr. Jonathan N. Tariga. He is a distinguished Professor 3 at the Quirino State University, renowned for his expertise in hospitality and tourism management, holding a doctorate in hospitality management from St. Paul University, Philippines. Dr. Tariga has made significant contributions to academe through his Scopus Index research, which includes studies on food consumption habits during the pandemic, bamboo shoot-based food innovations, and entrepreneurial training design. A licensed professional teacher and certified hospitality professional, Dr. Tariga has received numerous accolades. His leadership as academic program chairperson for hospitality management has been instrumental in program development, accreditation, and community projects like Bamboo for Life, which yielded 60 utility models and technology transfers. With over a decade of university service and prior industry experience as a senior kitchen crew in Saudi Arabia, Dr. Tariga bridges theory and practice, fostering student success and sustainable development in the hospitality sector. His work continues to inspire innovation in education and research. Ladies and gentlemen, our fourth speaker, Dr. Jonathan N. Tariga.
Thank you, Ma'am Novi. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so good day, everyone. So our topic now is food as medicine, unlocking the potential of bamboo shoots as natural approach to health and wellness. So Dr. Arlene, begin with a question. Now I will begin also with a question. So what if I told you that a humble ingredient in your stir fry could be the key to gut health, weight loss, and even fighting chronic disease? Yes, today we unveil the medicinal marvel of bamboo shoots. Mabuhay, I'm Jonathan Tariga, and I will be sharing to you the wonders and potentials of bamboo shoots. This is based on my studies about shoots, and yes, we develop numerous recipes out of it, and soon it will be out or available in Amazon. So a big thanks to Dr. Jim Castor for making it possible. So food, just like what Dr. Arlene said, food isn't just a fuel. It's a medicine with compounds that actively heal. Beyond basic nutrition, food is more than sustenance. It's a powerful therapeutic tool with compounds that actively influence health, aids in preventing chronic disease, issues like heart diseases, cancers, and diabetes, help manage existing concerns such as high cholesterol, and also a power of whole foods. Whole foods offer a synergetic blend of nutrients. Bamboo shoots, for example, are a nutritional powerhouse. Low in calorie, high in fiber, rich in B6, E, and K, potassium and copper, and high levels protect cells and fight diseases. Also in ancient wisdom and modern science, there is a scientific validation that traditional healing systems have long revered foods for their medicinal properties, a wisdom now validated by modern science. Foods like bamboo shoots, a traditional delicacy, are now scientifically confirmed to aid gut health, weight management, and cholesterol reduction. Now, have you eaten bamboo shoots? Did you know that you were dining with nature's pharmacy? Yes, you heard it right. A global culinary delicacy, already revered as a delicacy across numerous Asian countries, bamboo shoots are cherished for their unique crisp texture and versatile flavor profile. Their widespread integration into the traditional cuisines, from simple stir fries to complex medicinal broth, underscores their cultural importance and broad appeal. Its nutritional powerhouse, an ideal choice for weight management, providing satiety without excess calories. High in fiber content, helps helps lower bad cholesterol or LDL cholesterol, supporting heart health. And it promotes healthy digestive system and supports a balance of gut microbiome. So the gut microbiome is a complex ecosystems of trillions of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms residing in the intestines. So these microbes play a vital role in digestion, helping break down food, extract nutrient, and synthesize vitamins. They also influence immune system, protect against harmful pathogens, and even communicate with the brain, impacting mood and behavior. Ergo, we are really dining with nature's pharmacy through consumptions of bamboo shoots. Studies shows that bamboo shoots can reduce LDL cholesterol up to 12%. Imagine that from a salad or from a salad topping. The medicinal marvels of bamboo shoots. Digestive health, fiber for gut wellness. Fiber isn't just a roughage, it's your microbiome's best friend. And early research suggests bamboo shoot could cool inflammation like natural ibuprofen. So free radicals meet their match. With vitamin E armors your cells against aging and disease. Just like what Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine. And bamboo shoots are his modern day proof. Incorporating bamboo shoots into your diet for culinary versatility. Bamboo shoots offer a unique crisp texture and subtle flavor, integrating seamlessly in wide array of dishes. Add soups and stews for an earthy depth and satisfying crunch. Excellent in stir fries where they absorb savory flavors while staying firm. Bamboo shoots morph into any dish like culinary chameleon. But of course, we have to stay alert. There's a warning in eating shoots. Fresh shoots could contain natural toxins. Raw shoots contain cyanogenic glycosides, which are toxic if ingested. But don't panic. Fresh shoots must be boiled for 20 to 30 minutes to neutralize these compounds. You can turn that foe to superfood. Empowering your wellness journey, embracing food as your first pharmacy. Beyond sustenance, food is a complex system of compounds that interacts with the influence bodily function. Conscious dietary choices, a primary defense against chronic diseases, and support health management. And for its holistic wellness, this approach promotes vitality, resilience, and a deeper connection to your body's needs. Bamboo shoots, a simple, potent addition. Its nutritional powerhouse, the proven benefits, and culinary versatility. But embracing food as first pharmacy, bamboo shoots, a simple, potent addition, just like what Hippocrates said. Let's remember, let food be thy medicine. So eat smart, live vibrant. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you also, Dr. Jonathan, for sharing this time that bamboo shoot is nature's pharmacy po pala. And it's medicinal marvels. Thank you, Doc, for that information. Okay, so at this juncture, let's move on to our fifth speaker. It's Dr. Fredisuminda M. Dolohan, our professor from the Quirino State University here in the Philippines.
A pleasant morning to everyone. It's my privilege to share with you today about something close to my heart, my practices and advocacies, food and how it can be a powerful tool for health. We, as an extension workers, together with our farmers, as our partners, are at the very beginning of this journey, where the food we grow can have a profound impact on people's well-being. Let me explain the concept of food as medicine. Many chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and even some cancers are linked to poor diet. But the good news is a healthy diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, can help prevent and even manage this condition. This is what we mean by food as medicine, using our food choices to support our health. Now, as extension workers, helping our farming communities, we have a unique and vital role to play. We are the gatekeepers of the food supply. These farmers, as our partners, who cultivate the ingredients that feed the Filipino people. By choosing to grow crops that are rich in nutrients, we can help build healthier communities. Nutrition and food guidelines suggest that increasing the diversity of these fruits and vegetables on our plates is key. This can mean focusing on varieties with higher levels of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Let me provide some examples on this. Think about it. Our tropical fruits, such as bananas, can help with blood sugar control. Avocados are rich in healthy fats that support heart health. Berries, such as strawberries, bignay, horseshoe berries, have powerful antioxidants. Kamote tops, malunggay, or horseradish are fantastic source of vitamins and minerals. By understanding these benefits, we can prioritize these crops in our field and offer consumers more options for nutritious food. This approach is not just about consumer health. It can also benefit us. Growing nutrient-dense food can increase the value of our crops and make them more desirable to health-conscious consumers. It can also lead to a more sustainable and resilient farming system. Let's work together to create a future where food is not just sustenance, but also medicine. Let's prioritize growing nutrient-rich crops and educating consumers about the power of food. By doing so, we can build healthier communities and a more vibrant agricultural system. Let me end my sharing with a question to encourage each one on this matter. Are there any specific crops you are interested in growing that you think have great health benefits? Let's talk about it. Thank you and good morning once again.
There we have it also from Dr. Dolohan. She emphasized the importance of the food being grown, having also an impact into people's well-being, being involved in extension activities themselves and who are in direct contact with the producers of food. So thank you, Dr. Freddy Sminda. And for our sixth speaker, let's hear from Dr. Denson M. Liday. He is a seasoned educator and research professional of the College of Health Sciences at Quirino State University main campus. With a strong academic foundation, holding as Master of Science in Chemistry from St. Mary's University and a Doctor of Philosophy in Science Education at Nueva Vizcaya State University, he has dedicated over 2 decades to teaching and research excellence. He has authored and co-authored over 20 research studies with several publications indexed in Scopus and other reputable platforms. His works span across science education, health, chemistry, and community-based innovations. He has received multiple national and international awards for Best Paper and Best Presenter, and was recognized as Outstanding Researcher by the Association of Filipino Teachers and Educators in America in 2022. Mr. Liday is also an active member of several professional organizations, including the Philippine Association of Researchers and Statistical Software Users and the Mycological Society of the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, our sixth speaker, Dr. Denson M. Liday.
Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Very audible.
Good morning, everyone. So my talk is focused on the concept of food as medicine from a chemist perspective, with emphasis on Philippine research and applications. So food is more than just a sustenance. It can be a therapeutic agent. In the Philippines, where non-communicable diseases and micronutrient deficiencies remain prevalent, understanding how chemistry links food compounds to health is critical. The work of chemists is to help identify and validate bioactive compounds, making this concept evidence-based rather than anecdotal. Historically, Filipino chemists have long addressed health through food. A good example was Dr. Maria Orosa, who developed Soyalac, a soybean-based drink, and the rock cookies to prevent beriberi during the World War II. Dr. Maria Orosa has her undergraduate at the University of Washington in Seattle. She was also known in the Philippines in developing the so-called banana ketchup, a substitute for the known tomato ketchup, which was very expensive during that time. Another one, we have also Juan Salcedo Jr.'s in his rice enrichment project, fortified the rice with thiamine, significantly reducing beriberi cases. Meanwhile, national scientist Francisco Santos of the Philippines also analyzed local staples like rice and sweet tomato, kamote in our vernacular, advocating gardening also to improve nutrition. These pioneers linked food chemistry to public health even decades before the term functional foods existed. When we say chemistry of food, it actually explains its medicinal role. Bioactive compounds like flavonoids, phenolics, carotenoids, saponins, and alkaloids offer antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and antimicrobial effects. For example, a recent study found that mango, even santol, a native fruit tree in the Philippines, and pineapple peels showed antioxidant activity comparable to pure vitamin C. This proves even food waste contains health-promoting molecules. Chemically, these compounds neutralize free radicals, regulate enzymes in the body, and protect cells, much like pharmaceuticals, but from natural food sources. Many Philippine plants serve also as local food medicine, like ampalaya, or known as bitter melon or bitter gourd, that contains charantin and polypeptide P. These are compounds that help regulate blood sugar. We also have sambo, with the scientific name of Blomea balsamifera, which are rich in flavonoids. It is used for kidney health, as the Department of Health approved it as diuretic. We also have tawa-tawa, or the Euphorbia hirta, traditionally used during dengue, has shown immunomodulatory potential in studies. These examples show how ethnobotanical knowledge merges with laboratory validation, making our everyday foods more powerful than we think. Interestingly, these mentioned plants are not exotic imports. They just grow in our backyards. Other than traditional, there has been modern initiatives also in the Philippines. Today, this tradition continues through the Department of Science and Technology SPC Fuel Project for the year 2024 to 2026, focusing on sugar cane. We also have pulses. These are dried seeds of legumes, cacao, and lagundi for functional food applications. Examples include muscovado-derived hyaluronic acid for skin health, lagundi tea for respiratory care and bioactive, Malagos chocolate for cardiovascular and cognitive benefits. Ethnobotanical surveys in Mindanao, the second largest area of land in the Philippines, also documented over 530 medicinal plant species, proving our biodiversity is a gold mine for food-based therapies. See, our crops are being transformed into validated functional foods. What then is the role of chemists in food as medicine? Chemists analyze phytochemicals through techniques to identify, quantify, and standardize compounds. For instance, Acalypha angatensis, a species of flowering plant in the family Euphorbiaceae native to the Philippines, studies shows or revealed that it is rich in flavonoids, tannins, and saponins with potent antioxidant and antibacterial activity. The role of chemists ensures dosage consistency, safety, and stability, which are essential for the nutraceutical and pharmaceutical grade products. This is where raw tradition meets standardized regulated products. Beyond phytochemicals, gut health is an emerging frontier. The 2024 Philippine Prof Symposium highlighted how Filipino diets and probiotics from foods like nata de coco affect metabolism and immunity. We also have functional foods targeting gut microbiome health are now global trends, and the Philippine research is adapting this to our own local culture. During the year 2024, University of the Philippines, Manila also released the 7th Medicinal Plant Guidebook, adding validated products like Ulasimang Bato tablets and Chaang Gubat syrup. The 2025 Herbal Medicine Development Plan aims to integrate this into healthcare through the Food and Drug Administration green lanes and standardized cultivation. This alignment of science, policy, and chemistry is key to formalizing food as medicine in our healthcare system. This proves we are moving from informal remedies to regulated and evidence-based integration. There are also challenges and opportunities in these endeavors. Challenges include inconsistent phytochemical content, lack of dosage guidelines, and strict regulatory classifications. But opportunities are immense, like rich biodiversity, ethnobotanical knowledge, consumer demand, and funding programs. With chemists collaborating across disciplines, we can transform Philippine crops into globally recognized functional foods. The question is not if food can be medicine. It is how we can prove it. As a conclusion, food has always been part of healing in our culture. From the work of Maria Rosa Soyalak to today's phytochemical laboratories, chemistry validates our traditional knowledge and drives innovation. Food is our first pharmacy, and chemistry is the language that unlocks it. Together, we can reshape how Filipinos see food, not just as sustenance, but as a tool for health and wellness. Ladies and men, let me end with the quote, "Food is our first pharmacy, and chemistry is the key." Thank you, and good morning.
Thank you very much, Sir Denson, for allowing us to look into food through the lens of chemistry this time, which really established the information about food na evidence-based siya dapat. Okay, so moving on to our 7th speaker, Dr. Holo R. Galabay. He is a registered nurse and registered midwife, an academic leader, and a public health advocate known for integrating clinical excellence with community-based, culturally grounded approaches to healthcare. He began his international journey as a nurse team leader in the General Intensive Care Unit at Ibn Sina Teaching Hospital in Sirte, Libya. Returning to the Philippines, he now serves as Assistant Professor 4 at the Isabela State University, City of Ilagan campus, where he also leads as the Facility Manager of the ISU Ilagan Birthing Center and Campus Director for External Linkages, Public Relations, and Internationalization. He also serves as the Member Secretary of the ISU Institutional Research Ethics Board. As recognized health researcher, Dr. Galabay has led several Department of Health commissioned studies, especially in maternal and child health and the National Immunization Program. He is an international research presenter and a published scholar in Scopus Index journals. He was also named one of ISU's top researchers and scientists. Beyond the academe, he is the president of the Integrated Midwives Association of the Philippines, Ilagan chapter, and a regional officer of IMAP Region 2, advocating for the growth of midwifery professionals. He recently earned his Doctor of Philosophy in Nursing Science from St. Paul University, Philippines in January 2025. At the heart of his work is a strong belief that healing is not only found in hospitals or prescriptions, but also in our kitchens, gardens, and cultural wisdom. His talk, Bridging Cultures Through Food as Medicine, champions the value of integrating food heritage and public health to promote holistic and sustainable well-being. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Jolo R. Galabay, our seventh speaker.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction, ma'am. And of course, good day to everyone who are joining us from across the globe. Before I begin, let me first acknowledge this unique platform, the QSU Vox Talk, for bridging us together to explore something that is truly powerful, the synergy of food, health, and cultural identity. Indeed, this space celebrates how traditional food practices, plant-based remedies, and indigenous healing methods across the Southeast Asia and the Pacific Islands shape not only our meals, but our wellness, our sustainability, and our resilience. As a nurse and researcher, I believe our roles extend beyond clinics and hospitals. We are also stewards of culture, of nature, and of the stories behind what we eat. In the early years of my career as community health nurse educator, I live among people in geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas. These are far-flung sitios nestled between mountains, rivers, and coastlines. There, I witnessed how food was not only sustenance, but survival. Their lands yielded with seafood, fresh poultry products, root crops, green leafy vegetables, and medicinal herbs. Things they planted, harvested, and of course prepared with reverence. They had limited access to clinics, doctors, or medicines, but they showed remarkable health, strength, and resilience. Why? Because food becomes their medicine. That immersion shaped my advocacy, and it continues to inspire me to champion community-based nutrition, indigenous food system, and public health rooted in the clinic. Let me share to you this story. I believe that in every Filipino home, food is more than nourishment. It is comfort. It is culture. And oftentimes it is medicine. I want to share a moment inside our birthing center where I am right now. A new mother had just delivered her baby, tired, emotional, but glowing with joy. Her family brought in a bowl of steaming tinolang manok, our traditional Filipino chicken soup made with ginger, green papaya, and moringa, or we call it malunggay leaves. You know what? She drank it slowly, and I watched her, strength returning sip by sip. To some, it might be just a simple chicken broth, but to us healthcare workers, it's care, it's love, it's healing. And that bowl became her first postpartum medicine. As a nurse, I was trained to carry out doctor's order and administer prescribed medicine. And as a researcher, I was taught to interpret and analyze data and provide necessary recommendation or solution based on scientific findings. But as a full-blooded Filipino nurse, midwife researcher, I carry with me a different kind of knowledge, one that isn't taught in textbooks, but in the warmth of family kitchen. Now, let's bring traditional and science together, because even modern regulatory systems have taken notice what our ancestors have already knew. A randomized clinical trial published in Philippine Journal of Pediatrics found that mothers who took malunggay capsules produced 160% more breast milk by day 10 postpartum. And that is with no adverse effect, no fancy chemicals. It's wonder that Natalac Forte, a 500 milligram malunggay supplement, is FDA approved for safe use among lactating mothers. Its galactagogue properties stem from plants' phytoestrogens, compounds that stimulate production of milk naturally. While it doesn't claim therapeutic effects, its registration ensures compliance with safety, purity, and quality standards. Another example is the ginger, locally known as luya and traditionally prepared as salabat tea in Filipino households. Beyond its cultural use, clinical studies have consistently demonstrated ginger's effectiveness in supporting digestion, relieving nausea, and reducing inflammation. In fact, FDA-approved product called the More Life. More turmeric combines with ginger, turmeric, vitamin C, and black pepper for their synergistic healing effects. We also have turmeric, which is widely used in traditional Mindanaoan dishes like kuning rice and pianggang manok. Contains curcumin, which is a potent bioactive compound with a scientifically proven anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and immune-boosting properties. Well, research shows that curcumin helps reduce symptoms of arthritis, metabolic syndrome, and even cognitive decline, making turmeric not just a spice, but a shield of our health. Ladies and gentlemen, this shows that our local, culturally rooted foods are not just home remedies. They are being recognized, regulated, and trusted in national health systems. This is why I always advocate as a nurse, midwife researcher, our kitchens are powerful. We just need to use them wisely. Still, nothing replaces fresh, home-prepared food. A bowl of tinolang manok with malunggay and ginger is a safe, accessible, and delicious form of healing, approved by culture and now supported by science. These aren't just culinary flavors. They are functional ingredients. They represent the intersection of cultural wisdom and modern science working together to promote wellness. Even the Department of Health, just like what was mentioned a while ago, we have there Lagundi for cough and asthma, Sambong, that is for kidney cleansing, Ulasimang Bato for gout and arthritis, Ampalaya, though it's bitter, but it helps to control the blood sugar, Bayabas, antiseptic and mouth cleanser. We also have that bawang that protects the heart and more. We have Acapulco, Saanggubat, Niyog-Niyogan, and Yerba Buena. These are not folklore. These are evidence-based. In Filipino households, we also raise native chickens and ducks, not just for livelihoods, but for health. Native poultry is richer in protein, lower in fat, and free from antibiotics. Duck eggs, for example, are packed with selenium and omega-3s, which is good for the heart. This is healing from home. And now let's honor my home region, the Cagayan Valley. A diverse blend of ethnic group, Itawes, Ibanag, Gadang, Yogad, Malawig, each with their unique food culture. They cook with wild herbs. They preserve health through food and not meal. Despite limited access to commercial help, our elders in these communities display strength, agility, and resilience. Their wellness is rooted in what they plant, harvest, and eat. That is true essence of food as medicine. This is not just about what we eat. This is about who we are. Nutrition is not separate from culture. Wellness is not separate from heritage. Let us recognize that the food on our table connects us not only to our bodies, but to our ancestors, our lands, and our communities. We must preserve this wisdom and pass it on to our patients. Just like me, as a nurse, I always intend to give education about nutrition using food as medicine to my patients, to our students, to our next generation. So let me leave you with this vision. A child nourished by moringa, a mother healed with turmeric tea, a community resilient through culture and nature. Because in our homes, the kitchen is our clinic. Our gardens are our pharmacy. And our culture is our cure. Let us teach it. Let us live it. Let us champion it. Food is medicine. Food is Filipino culture. Food is life. Once again, thank you very much for inviting me as one of the resource person. Mabuhay po tayong lahat. Good day to everyone.
Mabuhay, and thank you very much also, Dr. Galabay. Thank you that through your profession as midwife and as a nurse, you indeed have championed the value of integrating food, heritage, public health to promote holistic and sustainable well-being. Thank you so much, Doctor. Okay, and so at this juncture, we move on to our 8th speaker. I hope he's still awake, Dr. Oyonumo Ntekim. He is a distinguished registered dietitian, medical doctor, and PhD holder in experimental nutrition, currently serving as Director of Graduate Studies and Associate Professor in the Department of Nutritional Sciences at Howard University, Washington, D.C. With over 25 years of combined experience in clinical nutrition, academic instruction, and translational research, Dr. Ntekim is nationally recognized for his leadership in Alzheimer's disease research, particularly in African American populations. He has co-led major NIH-funded studies, including the Gemini Project and the ADNI3 Alzheimer's Neuroimaging Initiative, focusing on gene-lifestyle interactions and cognitive aging. His research has led to over 15 peer-reviewed publications and several funded projects aimed at promoting health equity in aging populations. As an educator, he teaches and advances courses in metabolism, biochemistry, and experimental nutrition, and mentors graduate students on topics ranging from gene expression to obesity and chronic disease prevention. Clinically, Dr. Ntekim brings decades of experience managing nutrition care in long-term care facilities and has led leadership roles in healthcare operations. His affiliations include the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, and the American Association of Nutrition. He also serves on editorial boards and is certified in cognitive assessment protocols and molecular research techniques. Ladies and gentlemen, our eighth speaker, all the way from the United States of America, Dr. Oyonumo Ntekim.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues. Thank you so much for extending the invitation to me to participate in this very informative session. I'm surprised and delighted with the extent of interest that the speakers before me have shown, exhibited, and demonstrated in their professional career, recognizing food as medicine, health, culture, and so most of what I had planned on talking about, the prior speakers have already touched on them, so I can only buttress some of what they have said already. First of all, on the introductory part, they have cited something that Hippocrates talked about before the birth of Christ, which is let thy food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food. A very, very important message going back to the centuries before the birth of Christ. So that statement sums up all there is to take away from this presentation. The quote not only affirms understanding of their understanding of importance of food in health at that time in history, but what they had 3,000 years ago, 2,500 years ago, still holds true today, which is what some of the previous speakers have touched on. Very, very important to note. And just to add to what I just finished talking about is the fact that the ancient Greeks recognized even constituents of food like protein, for example. Today we use the word protein. Its origin is proteus, a Greek word that meant first place. So they recognize protein as first nutrient in the foods that they ate at that period in history, or during that period in history. And we know today the importance or the significance of protein deficit. We talk about kwashiorkor and marasmus. And it means that way back then, they even recognized that. And so today, we, through scientific research, have actually concluded or discovered and then concluded that the importance of protein in our diet, among other nutrients. The previous speakers have cited food, local food, which I was born and raised in Nigeria. I migrated to United States about 40 years ago after secondary school to pursue college education. And I've been here since then, but I'm still integrally linked to the land of my birth. So I understand the importance of the local foods, vegetables, fruits, roots, and so forth. But frequently, the local people, though they've inherited all of this knowledge, seems to think that the Western diet, the Western lifestyle is more important than what they have inherited from their ancestors. But I think otherwise as a scientist, because I see the importance of their food, the roots, the plants. And so that's why I'm now delving into research in plant as not just medicine, but to take it a step further, like the gentleman chemist who had talked about isolating and identifying the active constituents in those foods and perhaps quantifying them, and then in the future, we will be able to use those in quantities that we have established as being efficacious to now treat people and prevent diseases downstream. Resveratrol, quercetin is something that I studied recently. Those are active constituents that we have in grapes. But I am certain that in Philippines, there are plants and fruits that contain quercetin and resveratrol. Either they've already been discovered, or with the research that most of you are involved in, very soon you will discover those active constituents. What do? They prevent inflammation, they protect the body from inflammatory processes, they support the immune system, and they regulate genes in ways that promote good health. Your effort, persistence to research, identify the active constituents in the foods that they eat locally or foods that are available there would go a very, very long way in promoting health in the future. My view of the future of science of health is this, that nutrition is going to drive everything, because now we are moving nutrition from the level of carbohydrate, proteins, and lipids, minerals, and vitamins to the genes. How do these nutrients influence the genes, and how do they then translate into good health or bad health? And that is a wide open area in the field of science. If those of you who have paid attention to the developments in nutrition, we now have areas in nutrition, specialty in nutrition, called nutrigenetics. We have nutrigenomics. We have nutritional epigenetics. In fact, as recently as a year and a half ago, my graduate students have worked and demonstrated efficacy of quercetin and resveratrol on specific genes in Alzheimer's model mice. And we are continuing that study. So on the human front, same efforts are on the way to see how the bioactive ingredients in the foods that we eat influence genes. That is the area of nutrigenetics. I spent the last 12 years working on Alzheimer's disease, trying to look at the mechanism of progression of Alzheimer's from mild cognitive impairment to the severe stage of Alzheimer's. Now I've decided to leave that field and move into how what we eat and the foods that we eat, how that influences that mechanism also. And so moving forward, a classic example of the importance of knowing and paying attention to local foods or foods that we eat locally, indigenous food, is in my dissertation. When I did my PhD, I had observed that postpartum women, immediate postpartum period, that the tradition is to cook foods that are high in crawfish, a marine organism, chili pepper, the hot pepper capsicum, and then yam, the local yam, and plantain, raw plantain. They boil them for the first week. That's all the woman would eat 3 times a day, with fish and meat, depending on how well off the family is. But then I asked my mother, why is it that they feed women, that postpartum women, that food. She said, well, it helps the womb to recover. And then I got curious and decided to do some literature research, and then ended up doing studies in that area. And what I ended up finding is that capsicum, that is capsaicin, which is the active constituent in the food, actually upregulates calcitonin gene-related factor gene. And that gene, in turn, upregulates IGF-1. And IGF-1 promotes wound healing and mending of, IGF-2 gene expression, which helps healing. And so, in spite of the fact that the local people don't have idea of the science behind what they do, through observation, they are actually correct. And so, also, capsaicin also depletes substance P, which is a neurotransmitter that transmits pain. So in the period, the immediate postpartum period, it also helps to manage pain and then drive the healing process. So if nothing else, I would love to encourage those of you who are interested in this field to please, no matter how difficult the path may be, lack of resources, to persist. And someone said earlier to promote and retain the tradition, those traditions. Why is that important? Some of the elders who could not write or kept everything in their head, and most of them are dying out. So if you, the younger ones, don't document and catalog all of that knowledge, we will never, it will take us maybe 2-3 millennia to go back to discover them. So I just want to emphasize that fact, that it is critical for us not just do the research, but to go out in the community and ensure that we catalog some of the knowledge of plants, herb. So even if we don't work on those plants, people in the future will, but at least the knowledge is somewhere preserved for people in the future to use. So thank you very much. I would like to stop here, and thank you once again for inviting me to participate in this talk and to listen to all of you. I am very, very pleased that to be here this evening, because I see that my vision is not lost, that people in other parts of the world, well, the third world countries are also interested in all of these things, and they are moving forward with good research. And I look forward to working with some of you in the future if the opportunity arises. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Intikim. Thank you for your time, taking your time to be with us. We believe it's also 10:51 p.m. there in the US. But thank you, Doctor, for your time, and especially for that insightful and informative sharing you had with us here. And actually, at this juncture, for those who are interested or have some questions for our speakers, you may post or type your queries in our chat box so that our speakers can will try to answer it afterwards. Okay, so every participants who are with us here on this platform, you are being encouraged to raise your questions for our speakers. But once again, thank you, Dr. Intikim, for your presence and your sharing with us here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Doc. And of course, moving on to our ninth speaker, she is Dr. Methuselah Clemente Perocha. She is an Associate Professor 5 at Guimaras State University, where she currently serves as the Director for Quality Assurance. and concurrently holds the position of Director for Food Innovation since 2020. She brings extensive administrative and academic leadership experience, having previously served as campus administration for the GSC Mosqueda campus and Dean of the School of Hotel and Restaurant Management. Dr. Perocha holds a Doctor of Philosophy in Education, specializing in educational management from Guimaras State College, a Master in Education in the same field from Aklan State University, and a Bachelor of Science in Foods and Nutrition from Central Philippine University. She spearheaded the development and operation of the Western Visayas Food Innovation Center and its center manager project staff from 2013 to 2020, successfully securing and managing significant multi-year projects to establish, operationalize, upgrade, and intensify the center's R&D activities and services. Her career began with over 2 decades as a secondary school teacher at Buena Vista Vocational School. Dr. Perocha is a senior accreditor for the Accrediting Agency of Chartered Colleges and Universities in the Philippines, or the AACO, an ISO internal quality auditor, and a TESDA NC2 holder in food and beverage and event management. Ladies and gentlemen, our 9th speaker, Dr. Methuselah Clemente Perocha. Good morning, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for that nice introduction, lengthy introduction. Okay, so thank you for inviting me to be one of your speakers in this convocation activity. Actually, my short talk is designed to inspire, inform, and reflect the values of nutrition and dietetics in the global and culturally rooted context. In every culture, food is more than just nourishment. It is a symbol of identity, tradition, and healing. From ginger tea in the Philippines to turmeric milk in India, food has long served as medicine across generations and geographies. That was also said by some of our speakers. Today, I want to explore how, as a nutritionist professional, we can bridge culture by embracing traditional healing practices and integrating them with evidence-based nutrition care while respecting the beliefs and backgrounds of the people we serve. To start with, let me tell you a true-to-life story. When I was a child, every time I had a cold, my mother would make me tinola. Tinola is a Filipino equivalent to chicken soup with special local plant-powered twist. With malunggay leaves, as mentioned by others, ginger, and chicken broth. And with their quiet prayers in the kitchen, it was magic. I didn't know then that it was anti-inflammatory, immune-boosting, and nutrient-rich. I thought it's a mother love came out in a bowl. Now that I am a nutritionist professional, I realized something deeper that was more than comfort food, that was medicine shaped by culture. Today, we hear a lot about food as medicine in hospitals, clinics, wellness apps, even in TikTok trends. But let's be honest, this idea is nothing new, it's ancient. Across generation and celebration, people healed their bodies through food long before supplements and syringes. In India, turmeric is revered for its anti-inflammatory powers. In Mexico, nopales or cactus paddles are used to manage blood sugar. In our homes, we serve salabat for sore throat and lugaw or rice porridge when someone's recovering. Science is now catching up with what our ancestors already knew. We often hear about cultural barriers to healthy eating, as if culture is something to work around. But what if we flipped around the script? What if culture isn't the problem, but the pathway? What if it's not a barrier, but a breeze? Because food is never just a fuel, it carries our identity. It tells our stories and holds our values. It connects generation and brings healing not just to the body but to the soul. When we ignore culture, we risk making nutrition feel cold, clinical, even foreign. But when we honor traditional food wisdom and pair it with modern nutritional science, we don't just create diet plans, we create trust, we build connection, and we open the door to sustainable and meaningful change. This is the kind of nutrition the world needs today. One that sees not just what's on the plate, but what it means to the person eating it. Our role is not just to provide meal plans or calorie counts. As professionals in the context of teaching nutrition and dietetics, it's easy to think our job is all about numbers, the calories, the carbs, the macros, and meal plans. But in truth, our role is so much more than that. We are not just nutritionists or professor in nutrition. We are bridge builders between the clinic and the community, between modern medicine and ancestral wisdom, between scientific evidence and cultural intelligence. What does this mean in practice? It means creating meal plans that respect religion, tradition, and taste, not just textbook recommendation. Teaching portion control without shaming or erasing people's comfort foods. Learning to ask what food means to someone, not just what nutrient it contains. Because let's face it, people don't eat nutrients, they eat food. That food is never just food, it's just part of somebody's story. It carries memories, identity, and feeling of home. When we understand this, we begin to approach nutrition with compassion, cultural respect, and sense of purpose. Not just marked with science, but also rooted in humanity. Let me share you one example and show you why context matters so much in nutrition care. In a rural community, we observe growing number of people developing type 2 diabetes. This common advice are the following: avoid white rice, avoid sugar, eat oats. Now, this advice might work well with more urban setting where oats are available, people are familiar with packaged health food, and supermarkets were just a few minutes away from their home. But in the rural context, this recommendation missed the marks. Oats were expensive, unfamiliar, and honestly, not very appealing to the local palate. So instead of pushing imported solution, we leaned into local wisdom. We asked, what do you already grow? What do you already know? Maybe the answer, which are available in our backyard: the adlay, the cassava, and guava leaves. And yes, research supports the role in blood sugar management. Adlay, a study published in the Asian Journal of Agriculture and Development, found that adlay has a lower glycemic index than white rice and may help manage blood sugar spikes. It is also gluten-free, high in complex carbohydrates, and high in resistant starch, which aids in blood sugar regulation and gut health. Cassava, according to research in Journal of Food, Science and Technology, when properly prepared and paired with fiber-rich vegetables, cassava can be a part of low glycemic index diet, especially in population accustomed to it. It contains low digesting starches and can provide a more stable energy source than refined carbohydrates when eaten in moderation. Guava leaves. Multiple studies, including one published in Nutrition and Metabolism Journal, have shown that guava leaf tea or extracts significantly reduce postprandial blood glucose level. Guava leaves contains quercetin and polyphenols, which have been found to improve insulin sensitivity and regulate glucose absorption. These aren't just traditional food, they're functional foods with real measurable benefits. And when we include them in community-based nutrition strategies, we're not just being culturally sensitive, we're being scientifically sound. My point is, healing through food is most effective when it respects both cultural roots and nutritional evidence. Food as medicine is most powerful when it is not only nutritionally sound but culturally grounded. In today's world, shaped by globalization, rising chronic diseases, and increasing cultural diversity, cultural nutrition is no longer a luxury or an afterthought. As nutritionist and professor teaching nutrition, my responsibility is not only to guide people or my students towards healthier choices, but to honor the personal and cultural meanings behind every meal. We are not here to judge food choices, but to understand them, to ask, what does this food mean to you? Before we ever ask, how many calories does it have? In the science of nutrition and dietetics, we're taught that food is fuel. But in the art of my profession, we'll learn that food is also identity. The regional food specialty speaks our identity. Food as comfort. Food isn't always about taste, but it is about belonging. In stressful times, food can ground us. Food for celebration, food has a power to bring people together, to break barriers, to spark laughters, to honor milestone, and to express gratitude. In every bite is a toast of life and resilience. When we value students' food choices, whether they come from ancestral recipes, religious practices, economic limitations, or simply personal preferences, we create a space where nutrition is inclusive, respectful, and realistic. Because true nutrition care is not just about changing what's on the plate, it's about building trust, empowering informed decision, and cultivating a lifelong respect for food in all its forms. Let us remember, in nutrition and dietetics, we're not just teaching facts. We're shaping also relationship between people and food, science and culture, health and humanity. So before I end, may I leave you with a simple, powerful question. What's on your plate and what does it mean to you? Because in the practice of nutrition and dietetics, food is never just about nutrients, it's about meaning, memory, and identity. If we truly want to heal bodies, we must also be willing to honor the history that shapes every bite. If we want to prescribe effective nutrition, we must first take time to understand the cultures behind the food. Let us not settle for feeding in the clinical sense. Let us nourish with compassion, connect through understanding, and bridge science with tradition. In bridging cultures, through food as medicine, we don't just transform diet, we transform lives. As I end, let me share you a biblical verse from Psalms 104 verse 14, which says, He causes the grass to grow for the cattle and vegetation for the labor of man, so that he may bring forth food from the earth. So this reflects the idea that God provides healing and nourishment through nature, including food that is part of cultural tradition. As health advocates, may we take these words to heart, because in the same way, true healing through food begins when we respect where food traditions come from, our heritage, our families, our farmers, our land. Let's honor the wisdom in our kitchen and culture in our meals and the healing power that has always been on our plates. Thank you for listening, and God bless everyone.
There you go. So thank you very much as well, Dr. Perocha, for that enriching and empowering talk po, and for taking po your time with us here in our QSU Vox Talk. So once again, yes, Doc, thank you po. By the way, again, we encourage our participants, especially our students, However, I think they are more on in our FB page. If they have any queries regarding all the talks or shares by our speakers, they can just post their question there or balikan na lang namin sila. We'll just require them to give their questions. Okay, so last but not the least, let's give way now for our keynote speaker. We are honored to welcome our keynote speaker, our international Fulbright specialist, whose work bridges public health, cultural traditions, and global wellness. Dr. Shimin Castor is an accomplished academic leader, public health nutritionist, and educator, currently serving as the Director of Graduate Studies and Associate Professor in the Department of Nutritional Sciences at Howard University. With over 25 years of experience in higher education and global health, she brings a wealth of knowledge in teaching, research, and community engagement. Her leadership extends internationally with impactful faculty development and health education initiatives in countries such as Benin, Senegal, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. She has authored over 20 peer-reviewed publications, secured multiple research grants, and continues to champion nutrition and health equity through her research on cardiovascular health, food insecurity, and chronic disease prevention. As a Fulbright specialist, Dr. Castor is committed to building institutional and community capacity through international collaboration, innovative curriculum design, and public health leadership. Again, let's be inspired by Dr. Shimin Castor. Doc Shim.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Good night for those that are in the U.S. I am just excited to be here. I just want to thank you all for your presence, and those that are here that I know it's 11 p.m. for you, and I thank you for staying. So I want to say thank you to my esteemed colleagues, honored guests, partner from all across Asia and the Howard University. I am just so glad. It is truly a privilege to gather here today under the unifying theme, Bridging Cultures to Food as Medicine. At the cross of tradition and innovation, nourishing and healing, we find ourselves called to renovate, to imagine the role of food. We find ourselves called to take what we've learned from the kitchen, to bring it back into connecting with the science so that we could look at ways to heal. We're not merely looking for substance, but as cornerstone to prevent health, culture, and identity, and equality and equity in health. Think about this. Suboptimal nutrition remains one of the greatest threats to public health worldwide, increasing risks for obesity, diabetes, and all these health conditions. May I say, diabetes, type 2. We know that obesity, these conditions are reversible with the appropriate food, with connecting food as medicine. And when we're talking about food as medicine, we're not just talking about basically just take a meal for today and take a meal for the evening. Not just having access, not just zero hunger, but the opportunity to be able to look at food, to grow food in your backyard, to eat that mango, to eat that papaya, to eat that moringa, to do the opportunity to come together, to eat that okra. By the way, it's amazing, and the health benefit of it. But we have to come to a conclusion is that we could use food as an opportunity to minimize, right? To heal, and then to decrease health costs. Health costs has now become a phenomenon where we're not thinking about using food as medicine. We're thinking about just giving a pill. Sometimes the pill is something you take once a day, but food is something you do at least 3 times a day. But yet we're not looking at the impact of food to our overall health. We're just simply eating for the sake of eating. How does that make sense to you, knowing that if you have to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and not knowing that you are comfortable with throwing a pill in your mouth, but not looking at the fact that we could use food as medicine. As some of the speakers has mentioned, if you look at the fact that the stuff that you are eating, if you look at the science of food, we find the benefit of bamboo to improve the health of cardiovascular condition because of the high fiber content. We find that everything that we are eating, every food that we are eating has some health benefit, but yet we see the connection that if we have a little farm in the back of our yard, a little gardening, we could actually look for ways to enhance and gain access to food. We're not looking at the mango and the papaya that have the nutrient that we need. We're looking at the fact that these things are what is called local. But we are willing to eat that chips. We are willing to eat that cookie, knowing that these things could actually exacerbate your health condition. But we know the fact that when we look at real food, whole food, food that has not been processed or cut, that has not been so ultra processed, you do not recognize it. We're not looking at the fact these health conditions could be reversed based on the fact that we have made a decision, a conscious decision to look at what our parents used to do in the kitchen, to look at the food that our parents used to give us as medicine. Because you know what? We have taken the culture and the tradition, we have set that aside, acting like as if it's no longer important. You have to look at the fact that the issue of undernutrition, the health chronic condition that we are seeing, especially in the vulnerable population, could be directly related because we have moved away from the culture, we have moved away from the food, not looking at the fact that the reality is very sobering. The reality is that even more sobering that the burden of healthy food is we think it's just access to food, it's just zero hunger. May I challenge you to look at beyond hunger? What happens if I feed you a bowl of rice, if I feed you a bowl of carbohydrate, but it has no fruits, no vegetable, and then what do we have? We have unbalanced nutrition. We didn't put you at risk for malnutrition. May I challenge you to look at beyond hunger, but look at, can I feed you a meal that's not just healthy for you, but good for you? May I challenge you to look at the fact that we need to look at ways to incorporate. We need to look out for ways to enhance. We need to look for ways to connect with the community. While I'm here in the Philippines, I've had some amazing experience by going to different barangays and by connecting with the people, by looking at their fruits and vegetables, by looking at the simple grow and grow in terms of looking at the food that we are eating. And often who often face food diet, food insecurity, and the compound impact of diet-related conditions. When you look at food insecurity, that's something we could actually change to food insecurity, to food security by looking at the local food, by creating access within our backyard so we could improve the overall health of the community. We not think that healthy food is found in the supermarket, but may I challenge you to look at the fact that the healthy food could actually be in your backyard by looking at the gardening that we grow. If the healthy food could find in a local market stand at the mom and pop that have to grow the vegetables, the papaya, the yam, all of that could actually help us. But sometimes we look at we just want to solve the problem of hunger, but we need to come together to go beyond hunger. Yet within every challenge lies opportunity, because that's what the presenter have shown, that we have the opportunity to not just look at food. It's not just biology, it's culture, it's heritage, it's identity, and it's medicine. Our work is nutrition, dietetics, agriculture, and perfect is now beginning to deeply consider the culture nature of food, from the kitchen to the science. Dr. Ntekem talk about how his grandmother used a certain soup to then improve the health of pregnant mother, and Dr. Dolo said the same thing. He said that we could look at the soup, that the chicken soup that's been given to the mother, that look like if we go back. See, we're going backward. We go back to the tradition that has lifted us up to giving us good health instead of moving toward the access that the food is so processed that we have forgotten the fact that it has no nutritional value. But we have to look at the fact that when we move away from the culture and the tradition and that we are losing the benefit of nutrition. Emerging frameworks such as functional food, those that provide physiological benefit beyond basic nutrition. Invite the ancient, like Dr. Ntekem said, bring the storyteller, talk to the grandmother, talk to the mothers, talk about what the benefit of that cup of soup is, talk to the benefit of that bitter cup of tea. Remember that cup of tea your parents used to give us? I know my background is from Haiti, and I remember when I was a child, grow up, my mom used to give me every Saturday a cup of bitter tea. And I was like, my God, this tea don't taste good. But I now understand the value of that tea because it prevents me from developing some kind of health condition. But think about the fact that as the head, all these scientists that have been speaking earlier, Dr. Frederick, Dr. Oyonomo, Dr. Jolo, Dr. Jesse, Dr. Benson, Dr. Benjamin, Dr. Fredis, all of you guys have come together to develop a framework that was then could be global to improve the health of the community to food as medicine. Food as medicine is not just a catchword because it sounds good, but we need to involve farmers. We need to bring the farmers in the conversation too, because they are the producer of this food. And the thing is, the farmers are being neglected. Can we bring back the concept that farming is sexy? Farming has access to understand the land, understand how to move the land, understand how to navigate the land, to grow the rice, to grow the papaya, to grow the corn, so that we could have access to food. But if we neglect the farmers in this conversation, we are going to lose an opportunity to create a culture that then help to improve health, because clearly we're not seeing it. With 561 million people with diabetes, with 1 billion people having heart condition, all of which condition could be reversible, we are at a situation here that we need to bring the forefront of food as medicine. Talking with the farmers, collecting dietitians, nutritionists, scientists coming together to look at ways we could do it in a way that create access so we could heal the land. Because right now, the level of illness that we see should not be. We are seeing people that are being sick at conditions that could be reversed. These recipes, ritual remedy passed down to generation, offered insight not only in nutrition, but a human resilience. And if we know the fact that these things work, how is it that we're not connecting with the community that have access, that have the understanding? They may not have the science, but they have the information that we could write down, put together, then create a monologue and a dialogue so that way we could all, and I think, may I say, connect with the farmers again. I know I kept saying that is because farmers are critically important as producers, so that way we could have access to the food as medicine. When we talk about food as medicine, we talk about having access as well, not just zero hunger, but creating food or giving food that are healthy for you. What would it look like if we come with conditions knowing that we could improve Alzheimer's condition, improve the memory through the fact that we enhance, improve nutritional health? May I also offer you that nutritional health and spirit is not just about nutritional health. It improves the mental health. It improves spiritual health. But yet we seem to neglect the fact that, can I give you another thing? Think about this for a second. Think about the fact that when you're not feeling good, when you're feeling sad, what do you go for ice cream? Because we know that the fact that sugar operation, the mechanism for sugar operate like that of cocaine. So we're looking for that pep up. But can I offer that dessert being the apple, that dessert being the avocado, that dessert being the papaya, the mango, without being processed? Think about the fact that these foods could actually help improve the overall health. My job in any time, any place that I talk, I advocate for the fact that we all should have a garden in our backyard. I'm advocating for we all should have the opportunity to connect and grow food. I want to advocate for cultural resilience. Today, food is history, is politics, is health, and is justice. And when we talk about food and justice, it is a right of every single individual to have access to healthy food, not just come with the issue of zero hunger. We come into what aspects of vegetables, fruits, access to the nutrient that's going to improve health. The history of food has moved well and truly on out of the academic wilderness. From being overlooked in historical inquiry, food has become a vibrant lens to examine, inspire colonization, resource management, environmental change, and social inequality. Right here at QSU, they have some amazing work going on. Dr. Arlene, who spoke earlier, has some amazing going on with the issue of looking at how food as medicine works to prevent wasting. Dr. Jonathan and Dr. Johnson, Denson is doing some great work in the issue of agriculture and how to utilize that in the context of improving health. Dr. Ntekem is doing some great work looking at turmeric and the impact of cardiovascular conditions. So we have an opportunity here to come together and collaborate. And let's not forget the spiritual health. Let's not the fact that when we are calm and we are able to meditate in the Word of God, we are able to know that let's eat healthy for the sake of being healthy mentally, physically, and spiritually. As we integrate food into public health strategies, we also recognize its transformative power in the community, especially when we line our efforts with farmers, educators, health workers, physicians, dietitians. I like to call myself an ambassador to food, to healthy food. As an ambassador, I have access to information that could help you make the right decision for health. And it is now an opportunity for us all here, all of you that are here, all 33, there was about 35, all of you that are here to come together to call for action across the lifespan from infancy to the elderly. Healthy food are essential for thriving. Yet historically, few health systems and policy have prioritized this truth. But I'm here to tell you, while I've been here, I've met with the mayor that see the value of food. I met with the director of nutrition that embrace the value of food, from the dietitians, from the community extension, from all these individuals. And the food that I've been eating has been amazing. But I'm here to tell you that's one thing that we need to do, is to come together collaboratively to look at food as medicine from a way that could change the world, not just our backyard, not just ourselves, but that could change the world for the sake of knowing that we could not just end hunger, but we could also improve health. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. It is such a privilege to meet and hear some of you. I just also want to thank the organizer for putting this together. Thank you for QSU, the presidents, the VP, and Dr. Amir Batista for being here. Thank you for Nobeline. Thank you, Dr. Amir. Thank you all for the opportunity to be here and to be part of this forum. And with that being said, I'm going to yield my mic for any kind of questions that you guys may have.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Castor, for that empowering and enlightening keynote. I like that. Farming is sexy. Truly, your insights and passion for nutrition gave us deeper appreciation of how food and medicine are rooted in history, culture, and even compassion. Yeah, so actually we have a question here, Doc, and I think it's open for all the speakers to answer. Let me read. In what ways can the traditional and contemporary practices of using food as medicine in countries like the Philippines, Malaysia, and the United States serve as a catalyst for cultivating a distinct regional identity in the ASEAN region, highlighting shared values in health, heritage, and sustainability? So anyone from our speakers can answer this?
I think I can contribute. I think there has to be local, it must begin at the local level where people appreciate their cultural heritage, the importance of what they have, recognizing the importance and the value of the foods, lifestyle, combination of food and lifestyle that you have locally. Because in my traveling around the world, I see in my ancestral home where the local foods are no longer valued, when that is what has sustained the local people for centuries. The Western foods are valued more so than their local foods that are more healthy, natural, and so forth. So as a result, you see spike of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, diseases that were not traditionally seen in the area. Not that they weren't there, but now it's rampant because of the change in lifestyle. And so first, they have to buy into the value of what they have locally. And then once that is done, the effect becomes centripetal. That is going to spread and spread and spread. Soon, that becomes a way of life. If we return to the old way of life, eating habits, the local foods, some of the diseases that are introduced into the community will begin to recede over time, and you will see good health returning to an extent. That's my contribution.
Thank you for that, Dr. Intikim. Yeah, I think it's so simple. Just going back to our local level and appreciating our local food itself. And we find the value of appreciating the food and how it's prepared even by our parents. And there will be a reduction already of the diseases that's been developing to the people. So appreciation of the local level foods. Okay, who else from our speakers can answer that question? Thank you, Dr. Intikim again. And also we have another, by the way, we have another question here. Let me just read. In the movement to integrate food as medicine into mainstream healthcare, how can countries like the Philippines, Malaysia, and the United States collaborate to ensure equitable access to culturally relevant medicinal foods, especially in underserved communities, while building systems that connect local farmers, traditional food knowledge, and clinical care pathways? Anyone from our esteemed speakers?
If I could add some additional value to that, I think I want to concur with the previous speaker, Dr. Arlene and Dr. Oyonomo, Dr. Jalo, Dr. Siti, and from Dr. Tiger from the previous conversation, have shared the fact that we have to go back in terms of looking at our tradition. But not just that, but I would like to add, looking at farmers, looking at connecting with farmers to enhance access, and as well as create a pathway for education where we are not using pesticides. Our parents used to do it in tradition so that the food is not being altered, right? And so then ultra processed all change, or the chemistry of it is not changing. But to be able to do it from a regional perspective, we go back local. When we are connecting with each local community, when we are connecting with various farmers, we are able to empower the community. We are able to create access to healthy food. Not only are we going to be able to address hunger, but we're going to do it from a healthy perspective. We won't be able to do it from the perspective of from conception all the way to elderly population to enhance food. So in order for us to do it, we have to do it collaboratively. We can't do it in concert. We got to come together with the Dr. Denson, with the Dr. Jonathan, with all of us coming together, with the dietitian and the farmers as well, to come to the table to create a model that's going to be effectively, so that way we could really look at food as medicine as the way to total healing. Thank you for allowing me to share, and I yield my mic.
Yes, so it's always has been coming together. And even nutrition itself, we always look at it as holistic. So it's not just one who is involved, it's always everybody. So it's really in coming together that we can resolve this problem on malnutrition and all the related factors in it. So are there any more questions? But for some questions coming from our students, I think we'll just require them to have some summary or listen again into all these lectures so that they will really be able to digest all that has been shared. And so we have now arrived at the closing part of our program. But to formally close our convocation, let us hear from our Vice President for Administration.
Ma'am Nobby,
Yes,
sorry
Doc.
to interrupt. We'll do the awarding of the certificate first before Dr. Saldaan will deliver the closing remarks.
Okay.
Allow me to share my screen. Okay. Okay. Let me read to you the content. Quirino State University International Relations Office, Defun Quirino awards this certificate of recognition to, in grateful recognition for her or his invaluable services as a speaker during the QSE Vox Talk, Bridging the Cultures Through Food as Medicine, a segment of the QSE ASEAN Month celebration held on August 7, 2025 via Zoom teleconferencing. Given the 7th day of August at Quirino State University, Defun Quirino, Philippines. Signed, yours truly, International Relations Officer and Dr. Hermenegildo F. Samoy Jr., University President. This certificate is given to Dr. Arlene J. Ira, Quirino State University. Dr. Thigarajan Paruma Sivam, Malaysia. Professor Dr. Jonathan N. Tariga, this university. Dr. Siti Amy Zara Zainal Abidin from Malaysia. Dr. Methuselah Parocha, Guimaras State University. Dr. Oyonumo Entukum, Howard University, USA. Dr. Denson M. Liday, Quirino State University. Dr. Jolo R. Galabay, Isabela State University. Professor Dr. Fredisminda M. Dalohan, Quirino State University, and of course, to our keynote speaker, our own Fulbrighter, Dr. Ximen Castor of Howard University, United States of America. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again to our
We will now proceed with the closing remarks.
Okay, so once again, to formally close our convocation, let us hear from our Vice President for Administration and Finance, a leader committed to excellence and
Ma'am
sustainability.
Novi. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President of Quirino State University for the closing remarks, Dr. Florical.
Okay. Mabuhay from Philippines. As we end this activity today, I am extending my warmest greetings to the international community, to the organizers, and to the able speakers on this endeavor. I believe that this is part of a culminating activity with the presence of our Fulbright specialist, our keynote speaker, Dr. Ximen Castor. Indeed, internationalization makes productive connections between and among nations. It builds a bond of integrative and intercultural relationships, which creates a celebration of diversity. The knowledge shared in this QSU Vox Talk activity would further intensify the cross-border education exchange in fostering health and nutrition, and in a broader sense, making food as medicine. As stated by Ann Wigmore, an American holistic health practitioner, that the food we eat can either be the safest and the most powerful medicine or the slowest form of poison. With all these learnings, the global community may gain knowledge along this field, thus making a healthier global citizenry. With this, on behalf of Quirino State University International Relations Office, with Dr. Romero Bautista with us, I am giving everyone the blessing of goodwill as we end this activity today. Thank you very much. Mabuhay and Godspeed.
Thank you as well, Dr. Saldaen, for your inspiring remarks. So as we come to the close of QSU Vox Talk 2025, may we carry with us the power of stories shared today. We've learned that food is not just sustenance, it is culture, identity, healing, and hope. Let us become stewards of this knowledge in our homes, communities, classrooms and professions. Let's continue bridging cultures through compassion, wellness, shared humanity, one meal, one voice, and one purpose at a time. This has been your QSU Vox Talk, where food meets medicine and cultures connect through conversation. Once again, thank you for joining us. But even so that we end, I think we need to grab this time for our photo opportunity. So may we request the IRO or the ITO office to facilitate the picture taking.
Maybe the ITO will do the screenshots. Yeah. For documentation purposes. And I would like to request everybody to turn on their cameras. While we are doing the the photo op, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our international partners. Of course, Dr. Thaiga, my fellow in the ASEAN Young Scientist Network. Dr. Siti, thank you very much for the opportunity to have you here. Through my friend, Dr. Sharul, also a fellow of the ASEAN Young Scientist Network. Thank you very much. We also have here, of course, our friend from Isabela State University, our friend from the CVHRDC as well, Dr. Jolo Orgalabay, our soon-to-be partner in academic ventures and the like, Guimaras State University, although we have not signed the document yet, but the spirit is already there. Thank you very much, Dr. Perocha, and of course, the university as well. Very soon we are going to ink the memorandum so that we can formalize all the things that we will be doing. Of course, to Howard University, Dr. Entecom, Dr. Castor, and of course, we cannot do this without the Fulbright, of course, Fulbright Philippines, the Philippine American Educational Foundation. Thank you very much for the opportunity of bringing in our Fulbright specialist here in the university for the first time that we are having this in the university. So thank you very much, and I hope the spirit will not stop from here, but instead we are going to realize more of our laurels in this very significant moment of academic collaboration in doing all of this stuff towards quality education in the university. And this is not goodbye, but this will be an opportunity to unlock more of our academic laurels in the future. So once again, thank you very much, and mabuhay. God bless everyone. Good, should I say, still good evening, Dr. Oyo. And yeah, it's still good morning very soon. So thank you
Yes,
very
indeed.
much for the indulgence. And of course, thank you very much, Dr. Shim. Publicly, thank you very much. And that ends our program, and see you again in the next Vox Talk. By the way, we cannot make use of TED Talk because that is patented one. So Quirino State University wants to be unique, and so we call it QSU Vox Talk. So thank you very much. Goodbye, everyone.
Congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You to all.